Good evening, YouTube. Mr. Anthony ONeal, if you have made it to my YouTube, I'm sorry for the late post. I was working on a couple of other things, so I got a little distracted. So here's my video and commenting on your video regarding having a budget as a man dating with intention. I want to tell you, I totally get it. I 100% support it. I was literally screaming because I'm like, how do they not understand what he's saying? So, just to touch on a couple of the things that you addressed in your conversation, I will be honest, I didn't listen to the whole 13 minutes of the video because I was at work, but I got at least the first 8, I'm going to say. Now, the first thing was the way your delivery was. I am a direct person. What I realized, some people cannot handle that direct approach. I feel like you have to be true to yourself at the end of the day. If you're not rude or being disrespectful, you can be honest in your approach of what's your truth. And I feel like that's exactly what you did. You spoke your truth and you expressed to that young lady, although the date was nice, for me to take you to another place that is out of my budget, we have to see if we even can get to that part in the next 30 days. Are you going to be that? Because if you think about it, when you're dating people, this is investment not only of finances, but this is investment of your time. Me personally, when I date, I like to have it no pressure because I don't feel required to put the same amount of energy into everybody because not everybody deserves that energy. Like, for instance, if I'm meeting you for the first time, I don't want to go to somewhere where you're spending X amount of dollars in this, that, and the third. One, I don't want to put in the energy to make sure I look nice and all that other stuff. I'm going to go in my regular wear. And I say regular wear as in what I would look like if you're dating me every day. Okay? If you can see me and still be interested in me in my regular attire, then we can move forward and then you can see me outside with a little bit more effort. Now, while I don't carry myself like a bum and wear scars on my head or anything to that extent, no offense to those who like that, but that's just not my character. That's not how I dress. I feel more comfortable because there's a sometimes an underlying expectation, definitely here in Georgia, in my experience, that if they spend money, they expect you to put out, depending on how much money they spend. So, to alleviate all that, let's just keep it simple. And I want to be in a situation where if I have to pay for my own food, I want to be able to do that. Not because you took me somewhere that I can't afford. And I'm just being honest, just like he said, on a budget. If I wouldn't take myself, or I'm not prepared, let me correct that. If I'm not prepared to take myself out and spend $250 on a date, then no, it's not in my budget to do it that week. My budget to go out to dinner that I can afford, if I have to pay out of pocket, is $60 for both of us or $120 for both of us, depending on where you go, right? That is budgeting. That is adult budgeting. Just to go somewhere to drop $250 just to impress somebody that you've known a week, I think is ridiculous. Not to say that that was where you were going, but I've been on dates where it was a upscale kind of place, live jazz band, 5-course meal, and we paid $250 for a meal. And not even counting valet parking. So I'm saying all that to say, I think it's very smart for you to be responsible with the money that you spend. That's it. I don't think that he's being unreasonable or anything like that. So my final say in all that, I think anybody who's dating with intention, has a plan for their life, and know what they want, having a budget is the smartest way to go about dating. That is my final answer with that. Now, I'm going to tackle the portion that the women were so bothered by him saying, if we're together in 30 days. Where's the lie? There is no guarantee just because we had a good time in the first date that I require or that I feel like I want to put that extra energy, because I don't look at it as just him putting forth the effort to spend that kind of money. I have to still make sure I have the proper attire to be in that setting. If I don't have that attire to be in that setting, guess what I have to do, ladies? I have to pay to buy certain shoes, get my nails done, make sure my face is beat, I gotta look the part of where he's taking me. And if I don't have that already in my arsenal, now I'm just spending another $200 just for me to be upkept to be on this date. Why do I want to spend $200 for upkeep to be ready? Now, don't get me wrong. Us ladies, we know how to finagle some things, but just roll with me for a second. Why would I want to go through all of that for a man that I'm not even 100% sure of? I think there's a gradual build. I like the gradual build in dating. Why? Because it shows that there's a deeper interest and a deeper investment, that you are somebody that I see myself with. As opposed to other dating scenarios where the men go all out and want to do this extravagant thing, and then not even with the female after 6 months. Or she felt like, oh, he took me here and it was all of this, and now she feels obligated subconsciously to put out. Again, this is not every woman. I'm just speaking from an experience of a woman who's dated for a very long time. Now, I'm not going to share my age, but you can go ahead and guess it in the comments if you like. But my point of it all is, I think there should be, that's what courtship is. And I think we're losing that in adulthood of what courtship is. There should be a build. If you think about back in the day when older couples were together, they'll meet at a pizza parlor or ice cream or something like that. And as the relationship gets serious, well, in some cases, they get married or engaged in 3 months. Or they go to that extravagant date as a solidification of their commitment to each other, to say, hey, you're my girl. And that's something that we don't do anymore. And I feel it's so vital for us to do, so we know what we're getting with the people we're dating. Period. Women need to do the same thing. If you don't want to put out, don't put out. But then don't put out and be like, well, I gave it to you and you weren't even ready to commit to me. And ma'am, some men, most men, want to work for it. I'm a man thinker. Any man that I could get easy, I'm so sorry, and this may come off very, how the other lady said, kind of harsh. If I could get you in the bed easy, even though I know men's premises is sex, I get it. But if you come across as, yeah, I just want to, and if I look at you and say, you know what, that's all he's good for? Okay. And the thing is with that, what I realized with certain men, they want that with the perks of cuddles and dinner and all those other things. No, bruh, you wanted the hit? Let's hit. And don't call me no more. Point blank, period. Ain't no point in entertaining this any further because I already see what your intentions are. Therefore, I'm not interested. Now, that might have been my intention too. I just wanted to screw. But at the end of the day, we all are responsible for our own choices. And if we choose to have just a sexual relationship with a man, that is our choice. That it is what it is. What women need to understand, like the ladies were saying, well, you could have said it differently, this, and the third. He just called a spade a spade. He called it what it was. He wasn't rude or disrespectful. And if that woman was genuinely interested, they would have had a conversation. She wasn't genuinely interested. As you so eloquently put out there, Mr. ONeal, she sees you on TV, and then she want to be like, hey, I seen you on TV. No, bye. That's the same way I look at dudes. Like, bye. If you already have expressed to me, okay, you cool and all that other stuff, and we get in the sack, but I already know that's what you want, don't call me when you having a bad day. I am not the one you need to text good morning every day, because to me it's fake. Therefore, you could keep it. You got what you wanted. Adios, amigo. I don't have anything else to say. And that's the end of it. That's the adult way to handle it. My thing is this. There's nothing wrong. We have to get back into the energy of courtship. We got to get back into the energy of taking our time within our own comfort zone, because people can vibe and things can go off really quickly. And that's okay. But let's take the time and say, is this person aligning with what I want? This is something I'm really just learning about and understanding what I require while dating. And now I know not to give certain energies to people who don't deserve it, because what ends up happening When you're giving your energy to people who don't really value it, number one, to deserve it, by the time you find the right person, you're apprehensive. You like, well, I don't want to give it again because the last person I gave it to, they took advantage, this, that, and the third. But accountability is required, and that's something that I'm noticing. We are not holding each other accountable, men and women. Even when I'm dating, what was your last relationship like? Oh, she was crazy, this, that, and the third. You attracted her. What about her that you was attracted to? Don't call her crazy because she didn't do what you wanted her to do. Did you ask her the right questions? So on and so forth. But I could go on and on and on regarding dating because I'm in that season of my life and I understand the hardships of it and the realness of it. But what I do realize, and I'm proud to say, that I've come to terms with how I want to be dated. And I don't put pressure on anybody to date me how I see fit. I want them to date me under the pretense of what they want. Because when men start dating you based over what you want, they're going to do what they need to do to get what they want. And if there's a man out there who could tell me different, please do so. I'm here for it. But at the end of the day, I really feel we have to understand what courtship is. And I think a lot of women haven't been courted. So they don't understand. No, I'm not going to spend, for a man to spend that much money in that short amount of time, I feel is irresponsible if he ain't raking in dough. If he don't got Jay-Z, Steve Harvey money to just pay $200, $300, $500 on a meal for knowing you a week. If he a regular Joe Schmo and he's spending money like that, either he a hustler on the side or he's irresponsible with money. Point blank period. That's just how I see it. And that's my take on it. So, Mr. ONeal, I love that topic of conversation you gave. I was so eager to address that. So thank you so much for addressing, so bringing up that topic. I hope my feedback was received. I hope my feedback get me some likes, because everybody who likes me right now are people I know, which is only 12 people. I'm trying to learn to be more out there in the industry as far as podcasting and this type of stuff, but I have a very strong opinion about a lot of different things that is not the same as most women. So I look forward to, if you did get to see this video, that you like, comment, and subscribe if needed, if you haven't done so already. And anybody else, if you happen to share this video, I appreciate you. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. Take care.